Once or twice a month, they're doing something. They're keeping that Twitter account active, Watt on Prime. Make sure you're following Watt on Prime. Also follow us at the Horn of Valir. And we kind of retweet their stuff. Matt's been telling me I need to start tweeting at them. They will respond.
They respond to a lot of Twitters that are just somebody who claimed, long ago, like whatever said I mean, like minor characters, right? And they retweet, they tweet at him. They're like, oh, we must respect the brown, whatever. I'm like, we're the heroes of the Horn, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. We have the freaking horn over here, guys. Like we'll sound it. Watch out. But no, I think that's cool, and I'm hoping we get some updates, from them, because you would kind of think that something would need to happen on a large stage like this. For example, my buddy Lane, who we run Lord of the Rings podcast, an unexpected podcast. If you guys are into Lord of the Rings, I kind of assume if people are into Wheel of Time, you might be into that. You can go check that out. It's another podcast. We have a YouTube channel. He called me and he said, what do you think about tonight? He's the same thing Matt did. What's your prediction? What do you think? I actually told him 28-24. Tom is what I said there, prediction wise. Just while we're making.
I'm at. But just the other way, the other way around.
Yeah. So anyways, he said, you think tonight we're going to see something from Amazon in regards to Lord of the Rings?
The Rings.
And I was like, maybe, but I don't know. Like here's the thing. They're way quiet. They are just, right. I think they're like pushing along in production.
I think that show's way further down the line.
I think so too.
I don't even think there's cast announced, is there? For that?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's cast announced. There's they've got showrunners. They haven't started filming. I think they did. They filmed the first 2 episodes, and then
okay.
They stopped, and they kind of did sort of. There's a bunch of rumors on that as to whether or not they fired some people. J.A. Bayona is directing it, and I honestly think here when people went there, a lot of the Ishmael Cordova was there, and we've been talking about him and his role in that series. He was in New Zealand for what? I mean, why else would he be in New Zealand other than to maybe film something? It's just way under wraps. Like, it is super under wraps. Their Twitter account is not tweeting.
People aren't cast as specific characters yet because it's in a time period we don't know, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are confirmed. I think I want to think like maybe Galadriel and a couple other figures are actually cast, but most of them are not. Most of them are unknown. So the fun thing there is to speculate, like, who are they going to be? Kind of what people were doing when Wheel of Time hit. And so you can see Wheel of Time is in a much further, like seemingly further along, unless they're just keeping it more under wraps. Like, the showrunners are not tweeting as much. The Twitter account is not super active.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it here. The Lord of the Rings thing. Actually, it's kind of a. I think it seems to me that it's not nearly as far along. Looks like they started filming in early 2020 in January, and then I think a stunt person got really hurt. Like severely injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she fell and hit a water tank with her head.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, it seems like it's recovered from injuries, and then COVID hit, and so I think they were in like the first 2 episodes, and so now they're just reviewing it to see if it's like kind of like a pilot. Hey, okay, is this something we want to progress? That's what happened with the Game of Thrones series, which was supposed to be early age, much more magical than the TV show we ended up getting, Game of Thrones, but. Now they're working on that prequel, and I think they did film like 1 or 2 pilots, first 2 episodes, and it never sees the light of day because they say, man, we don't want to do this or not.
I will say this though, I think it's actually secretly. I'm being dead serious about this. I think it's secretly, I think it's. I wouldn't. See, the thing is, the rumor is that it wouldn't surprise me if they dropped a reel before Wheel of Time does, because. Secret, like J.A. Bayona, I think he did all of his next couple episodes here in the fall when they were on major lockdown, because there was all this stuff like Bezos went out there after the injury, flew out there, looked over everything. They poured so much money into it. And again, this is Amazon. We're talking about this because it's related to Wheel of Time and Amazon, who's running these shows. And for some reason, they're going top secret. They're going like real secrecy on this stuff. and they have to work with the Tolkien estate. There's different things going on with rights and stuff, and so it's always been a little not contentious, but like it's been hard to kind of maneuver around what you have the rights to, what you can do, what you can't do, where you can take liberties, where you cannot. So that is a whole nother hurdle I think they're facing over there. They just haven't said anything. There's just nothing said. Yeah. But anyways, the whole, like it just wouldn't surprise me. I don't know why. If you were going to release something this year, whether it's Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings, why in the world would you not have something, just a little bit of something ready to go, as a quick flash up there and show us what's happening. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, real quick, did you know that Jeff Bezos this week did he's stepping down as CEO?
Yeah. Yep.
And he's moving into a more just
executive chair.
I think right. I mean, I think for him, like the day-to-day operation of like Amazon, like the shipping company, is like pretty self-sufficient. I mean, I think this is actually a good thing for all of the other stuff that Amazon is going to be doing. And I think content is going to benefit from this because now he can focus less on, the store of Amazon and can focus more on turning Amazon into this other big, huge company that does all of these other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had Sir Jimmy. We had Sir Jimmy on from the Fantasy Network. Great YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's a listener here, and he sent a lot of folks our way to come listen to the podcast. So shout out to him. Thanks to him. But he was on a recent episode with us where he was talking about how Jeff Bezos started off as a bookseller and someone who was into, in fantasy in particular and loves the Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time. He talked about his acquisition of, I forget the series that he was talking about, but yeah, I do think I think it will be a good thing, and I think it's something that they are looking at trying to expand it and grow. He talked about in his kind of release when he stepped down, he said something to the effect of like, it's a good time to start re-innovating and we're in a good spot here to keep it going. You want new creative people. He needs to step aside, think about other things. How can he help push it further, make it bigger, make it more? Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's all still really on a roll, and we're excited about these TV shows that are coming out, and the Wheel of Time in particular. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I really hope there's something. I just don't know why. I mean, it must not be coming out then. Like I don't know if you saw this, but the guy who was composing the score or who was scoring the series stepped down or left from the Wheel of Time production. Did you see that? It was. No, I forget what his name is, but yeah. So that kind of full stop there, and that's a pretty important piece. You know what I mean? They want to make sure we want, score is like so important. It's such a big deal in movies and TV shows. So
absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, that's a little bit of news for you guys there. Sorry, I don't have his name up here, and apologize for that, but. But yeah, I think they're still, we're in post-production with a lot of stuff. I don't even, I'm not one of those guys who I'm looking at like leaked photos a whole lot or leaked things too much. I'm just kind of on the fringe, keeping, track of it. I'm looking at the big major takeaways because we're just kind of into the content, the story, the characters, plot. How's it going to, we like to speculate a little bit. So the leaks and the rumors I'm not as up on because I'm not even so sure they finished the last episode, of season 1 for Wheel of Time. So
I think they're back there now. I think because Rosamund Pike was posting some stuff on like her Instagram. Yeah,
nice. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I heard they were going to a different country, a different location, and so maybe it was like it would work. But yeah, it's just the dynamics of the pandemic and COVID that have really altered production. I still think we're getting. I think we're getting it end of 2021. I do think we will get it end of 2021. Yeah. So tonight, I mean, for this, Amazon might do something where it's just not just like show titles. It could just be the title, Wheel of Time. If that's all it was, that's enough. You have a stage to do that. Put up Lord of the Rings, The Second Age, Wheel of Time. Throw up your big TV shows with just their names and logos, and you're good. I mean, that's kind of what Disney Plus did for all of their new Star Wars shows. Just toss it up there. That was their Investors Day situation. But it's kind of neat to get that in front of millions of people. So
yeah, I mean, because if you remember 2 years ago, there was a Game of Thrones joke commercial with Bud Light, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't. I mean, it wasn't any footage. But then there was like an HBO reel, and there was like 3 seconds of new Game of Thrones footage in there. And so if that's where, if we get anything, that's kind of what I'm saying. What I think it will be is a shot of, you just show a shot of like, somebody's head turn and it just says Wheel of Time. And, it's like, maybe you see like, house is on fire or something. It's like, oh, what's that?
What is that? Yeah.
That's all I expect.
Right.
I don't expect
exactly.
literally I would say I expect no more than, remember Super Bowl commercials are, like millions of dollars a second. I mean,
right. Yeah.
So 3 seconds at the most.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if you guys, if you guys have news on any of that stuff as we move forward past the Super Bowl, and just like speculation on when a trailer is coming. Like I said, follow that Twitter account, Watt on Prime, Rafe Judkins. Follow him as well for updates, and we'll anxiously await all of that goodness.